Welcome to IPL 5 Ohana.
Oh, Robin, those map intros.
Oh, I love it, man.
Good.
Everything about it is fantastic. Guys, welcome to game number 2. Bomber is up 1-0 over Polt. And as you mentioned earlier, when Polt goes down in a series, he doesn't win. But again, it's only happened once. It was against eOnZerG, and eOnZerG's a pretty good Zerg.
Yeah. I mean, you can look at NSA, he dropped a couple games, two. Yeah. No, he really does. Polt is a 2-0er, guys. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Guys in the bottom right.
Startail Bomber.
Robin, who's he facing off against?
Man, in the very far top left corner on Ohana, it's going to be someone.
TSL Polt.
Definitely a lot of fans for both players out there. That's without doubt.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more Polt favored, but
Hey, you know what? I want to find out real quick. Guys, if you want Polt to win, give it a cheer.
there we go. This front row, man, they really like Polt.
Hey, we got to figure out the non-Zerg player is going to be proceeding, so I want to know who they want. Guys, if you, on the other hand, want to see Bomber take this, give it up for him.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Right side seems to be more Bomber favorite, left side more Polt favorite.
And I'm a little more to the left, so maybe I heard that as Bomber.
Well, it looks like, did we actually have a gas first here for Bomber? It looks so, and actually on Ohana, I actually like his play. It's actually a relatively small rush distance, and of course any Banshee play is pretty strong in this map. There's actually a nice amount of air distance in the back left, as well as you can swing to the natural, and it looks like we're gonna have a 1 Rax into a natural here for Polt. I need to see him follow up with another Rax, or he might just straight up die.
Ooh, but Robin, can you go click on that gas down for and Bomber's base for me? I want to see. That has mined 150. He's driving around 2 minutes, so all right. Either way,
well.
Bomber's he's gonna have some gas to work with here. We can see his factory's underway, and he's definitely going for a 1 base aggression build. It's just a question of a very fast second gas. So likely Cloak Banshee, Blue Flame Hellion drop.
I've seen him do Blue Flame Hellion a couple of times, not too often. It's more Banshee play overall, but I wouldn't mind seeing Blue Flame Hellion. It really throws off your opponent. It was really strong 8-10 months ago, and unfortunately it kind of faded away a little bit with a few of the nerfs that happened. But nonetheless, it's still really good for surprising your opponent. With you being 1-0 above your opponent, I really think a surprise factor would be really good in a game number 2.
Yeah, it definitely would. No wall off here for Bomber, notably. So he's kind of really open and exposed until he gets these Marines out 1. Actually, I believe he does have 2. He's the second one at the lower ramp. So and of course, you want to put these Marines down at the second ramp. Makes it a little questionable whether you have an expansion or not until your opponent uses a scan.
Way harder to scout, yeah. And it looks like with the positioning of this factory and the starport, it's most likely going to be Banshee play. It's a little bit closer toward the edge. Going to make it a little bit easier for the Banshee to transverse across the middle of the map. Now I'm looking over to Polt. He has followed up in the second Rax, and he has falling up into double gas here. So going to be able to move it to factory, starport, potentially get out of Viking. It's going to be a little bit careful here. It's going to be about a 20-second timing window available for Bomber to do a nice amount of damage. Yeah,
and well, especially if he goes for Cloak. I mean, you can make a lot of things happen in that. And Cloak is going to be researched, guys. Polt's going to be a little bit on the defense, at least for a moment or two here, but Bomber's going to need to do a lot of damage because Polt, remember, opened with that 1 Rax expand.
Man, we were talking to Froden last night, actually, in the hotel room, and he was talking about, oh man, I hate playing against Banshee. It's such a nerve-wracking issue because Banshees are going to do damage no matter what. I mean, they're a harass-type unit, and how you deal with them is very, very important. You have to really make sure your scan lands perfectly, or of course, if you use 2 or 3 scans, then suddenly that's a huge lead for the person that went for Banshee. So we're going to see how Polt deals with this as his command center has fallen up, and in terms of economy, he's going to start booming pretty quickly here, 26 to 24, and it looks like the Banshee is about to pop out very soon here, guys, so get very pumped, and if you are a Bomber fan, get ready for the intensity that's about to ensue.
All right, you know, Robin, we were talking last night, actually, about scans. Yeah. We were talking about how scan does go down, spots the Cloak, spots the Banshee.
What was the pause for?
I don't know. But I want to actually go back to what we were talking about. Right now, a lot of players, you're scanning ahead of cloaked units. You're scanning in front of burrowed infestors that are running away. You're scanning ahead of a cloaked Banshee when you see the direction it's going. And you know, a decent amount so you can get as many Viking shots in as possible. I would love to see pro players. It'd be so sweet if Bomber does it here. When that scan goes down, immediately turn your unit backwards and get out of the scan range. Because they scan right on the edge to get every possible second, but players haven't really adapted to seeing that yet.
Well, we'll see if he does so. Bomber is now in the natural, being aggressive. A nice pull there from Polt, actually, getting the SCV just out of range, and it looks like a Cloak is going to land here, but a Viking's already on the way. There's a nice amount of Marines here, and for the most part, Polt hasn't taken that much damage. He gets a scan down, but no, he actually wasted there. Nice control there from Bomber. Will pull back and now in the yell, but here comes a Viking, and it looks like from here, he's gonna be able to do a little bit more harassment. That missile turret, though, is on the way. It's about to finish, and effectively, this Banshee's gonna be held back.
Well, the Viking is sitting right over top of it. The missile turret giving range for a little. It was like it shot one. It didn't get the second attack off. I don't know. Banshee didn't lose a lot of health there, but at this stage, Bomber, well, he hasn't got much damage in Robin.
Well, he's going to go ahead back into the main here. Nice shoot there, actually. The Viking kept moving forward for Polt there, and now it looks like he's going to go ahead and just pop down the supply depot. But I really feel like there was a nice little sweet spot here in the main between the racks and the factory for him to do more damage on the economy here. But just going to be suffice with taking out a supply depot. It looks like these Marines dancing back and forth. They do have stem available, so if he gets a scan really quickly, he can take it out. Whoa.
Medevac saving the SCV. That guy's clutch. I'd tip him. Banshee is going to get away.
Wow. Nice control from Bomber. And game number 1 as well. He was really strong with his Banshee play. He's got a second one here as well, so he can be very harass heavy. Ooh, the Viking is going to come in here though and pulls back, man. Got too excited for that. That's what we call
Marines doing a great job actually from Bomber protecting that.
Well, it looks like the natural has finished up for Bomber. Let's check into the harvesters really quick here. It's going to be 38-230.
Oh.
Man, it's too tense here with this Viking slash Banshee control. What that nice control here from Polt, just circumventing these Marines. And it looks like the Marines are going to move forward and finally deter away the Viking. But dang, Polt, turn it up there.
That he is. Really, I mean, Polt's playing phenomenally in this early game. Has almost sustained no damage. It looked like, you know what, it's not even 3 SCVs because that medevac saved the one. So we've got 2 lost workers so far. This Banshee going to be falling back and gets away. So Bomber doing a great job keeping these alive temporarily. He's killed 14 units overall, definitely picked off a couple of Marines here and there, but the supply is just so slightly favoring Bomber, and a lot of that is in these Banshees.
Oh man, he's forced a lot of scans. Could this be potentially another one? One more shot, should be able to get it.
There we
yes,
go.
He does, finally. But a total of 4 scans for the 2 Banshees, and overall it's going to allow him to really clamber back up in economics and have meals available for him. And it looks like Bomber's going to go ahead and keep a nice little soft contain here at the end of the main here. He's going to have to scan, though, to get the damage done, and he will get the supply depot, which actually, oh my gosh, he didn't get it. Wow. So down to 8 HP. There it goes. It burns away, and now we have Polt supply blocked for a bit. And it's going to be a good while, a good 30 seconds before he even gets it. Nice shot there from Bomber.
Guys, medevac is moving down the right-hand side of the map. It's a little bit slower than that Seagull, so it'll take a moment or two. But it'll make it. Question is Bomber going to be, well, he's got a building there. I think it's going to be a supply depot, though. Turret would be with just far too much foresight. And it is, in fact, a supply depot. So here's the drop coming in now. There's a siege tank in position, so definitely some good anticipation here out of Bomber. Marine, one Marine already goes down, 3 in the red, and nice defense there from that drop.
Nice control from Polt as well. Those 3 were actually about to implode, but they actually got pulled up right away there. And Bomber just moving up in terms of Marines here. Looking into the unit stat really quick, he is at 22-12 and 4 CJs forward to Polt. So really just keeping up with his macro. He's been immaculate in terms of macro this whole entire week, and it's been something that I've really been appalled with. He's been doing fantastic. And it looks like from here, we're going to have Polt just move around the map, clear out the Xel'Naga to try and get a little bit of map control. But remember, he's only on 2 bases at the moment. His 3rd is about to finish up as it moves into an orbital, but we've had this orbital about to finish up down here in the bottom left corner for Bomber very soon, as it will complete, and it will be on the low ground right away, so we may be able to get a couple more SCVs before the opponent moves over.
Wow, another Banshee gets away for Bomber. Bomber, I mean, TvT's his worst matchup, but it's not looking like it right now. He's doing a great job at sneaking in damage wherever he can, even with how well Polt has been prepared for this.
Well, almost a year ago, Bomber was considered to be one of the best TvT players in the world. I mean, statistically, he's above 50%. I mean, he's doing fantastic. Like, that's immaculate, but he's just a little bit better against Zerg and Protoss. But nonetheless, it looks like he's going to go ahead and secure his 3rd, be okay with sitting back for a little bit. In terms of upgrades, he's going to be finishing his stem out, level 1 weapons to be finishing up as well, and the same thing for Polt. Combat shield's on the way, plus his level 1 weapon. So relatively on upgrades, we're doing okay for both players, and we've gotten to the mid game pretty nicely.
Yeah, we definitely have. Interestingly, though, from Polt, we didn't see a timing. Bomber did a great job. Look at that, 18 units killed. A lot of those were Marines, because only 16 of them. Then. Maybe he killed a Viking or something, but I mean, really, at this stage, Bomber did a great job killing the units of Polt, and we know Polt likes to go for timings. He loves to laying those upgrades, moving out with high quantities of Marines early on, and, well, he wasn't able to get it done here, so Bomber just got to feel in a pretty good spot, especially with how fast he took this 3rd. He also took it on site. Yeah,
remember he was behind 12 SCVs. He's actually tied now. Looking at it right now, we're actually 58-57. And he's got 4 mules out compared to Polt, who actually has been using scans left and right. So,
this is true, yeah.
Bomber is just going to be moving up very soon. And we also have Polt ramping up as well. He's finished up a couple more racks as well. Going to stick with this bio formation that he really enjoys, but actually being a bit more siege tank heavy here. So really wants to try and choke out Bomber if possible. Going to move out across the middle of the map, but it looks like we might have an engagement very soon as a medevac will scout Bomber moving up as well.
Oh, a great read there from Polt, sieging up that army. Could have been caught very off guard. He didn't have vision, but now he knows. Viking looks like it went sniped down there, but both players just kind of sieged up. Nobody able to do anything right now. This game is still very even, guys.
Yeah, at this point, we should probably see a fourth command center thrown down very soon. We just have both players just sitting in the middle of the map, just kind of floating with each other, if you will, in terms of, I want to grab this
Let me
part,
bat my eyelashes at you.
You're looking awfully blue today. But nonetheless, it looks like we're going to be having a factory just really starting to churn out for Bomber down here. What does he have? 1, 2, almost a third factory now. Should be being thrown up pretty soon as well, and just keep moving up in terms of the deck. Oh, but look at this. Polt has been fantastic in terms of maneuvering, really getting into better positions, trying to just get into Bomber's face. He's doing so well, grabbing his Naga down here in the bottom right corner. And now literally Bomber has to sit back and defend. We don't actually have him loading up a drop or anything quite yet, which would be fantastic in this position.
I mean, Polt wants to engage here. There's no combat shields on these Marines. They get one-shotted by tanks, and right now we can see Polt's gonna force it, and Bomber can't fight here. Now combat shields kicks in, but that whole time we saw him pulling back with the Marines. He knew that he couldn't fight that.
Yeah, he still had a small opportunity to take 2 siege tanks, and I'll take that trade any day. Really well done by Polt, and he's moving forward once again. The medevacs heal up the majority of the Marines. He actually can pick up a couple and maybe move into this natural, although Bomber's ready for him. He's left a small patch of Marines by his racks and his production facilities, so actually from here, I wouldn't mind if Polt pulled back a little bit. Just sit back and have his Marines sit behind the siege tanks and just chill for a couple of seconds. He's got upgrades on the way. He's actually going to have a lead here. He's going to have +2 over his opponent for about 10 to 15 seconds, so we'll see if he can exploit that, as he's got reinforcements moving across the middle of the map as well. And if you actually look in his third and natural, there isn't much defenses besides a missile turret. So again, I really want this drop 2 actually on the way in the bottom of the corner to do a nice amount of damage.
Bomber going to be starting his 4th base, but Polt's coming in for an attack, and he's going to be forced back for just a minute here. Now, I do like this position out of Polt, because if he can hold on to this, he'll actually be sectioning off the right-hand side base here, the 5th base of Bomber. Bomber would only be able to take his 4th. Bomber, in response to this outward, the stationing of units from Polt, is going to go for a big drop. We'll see if he can get it done. No, a turret going to instantly thwart these, at least for the moment.
I really think Bomber should go for this. Yeah, he's finally going to do so, but unfortunately Polt's had time to respawn now, and that missile turret really threw Bomber off. Wasn't expecting him to be there. And now with the Marines actually dropping, Polt's not paying attention. He's engaging in the middle of the map as well, and he's trying to take on these Marines. 3 siege tanks, 4 siege tanks do fall, and now Marines are just left for Bomber, and Bomber needs to do damage here. Takes out a reactor, but there are a lot of Marines here for Polt. He might be able to take him out here. A medevac does get killed off, and it looks like Polt's going to defend this.
The medevac's getting sniped out of the sky. Polt's going to hold.
Few Marines are pulled back, but remember, Polt does have his opponent kind of soft contained out here outside of the natural, and it looks like from here we might be having this 4th come up for Bomber in the top left corner. He's not necessarily out of the game, but that definitely hurt him out a little bit. He's actually heading to probably 171, 168, but dang, Polt's been doing great in terms of just popping in, taking a siege tank or 2 or a medevac, and then pulling back with just Marines, which is a trade you always want to take if possible in TvT.
Absolutely. You couldn't be more right about that, Robin. Let's see if Polt can do it again. That siege tank really far forward right now for Bomber. In fact, target fired down. Beautiful out of Polt. And now he's going to fall back with minimal losses. May lose a few siege tanks here, though. Bomber fighting back right now, picking off 3, maybe even 4 siege tanks on Polt.
2-2 about to finish up for both players. We have 2-1 currently, and it looks like Polt's going to chase, stimming up. A medevac very low on HP, but going into siege tank range here. He doesn't even care, taking 2 more siege tanks. Polt 169 supply to 133, still moving forward, taking out more units to the bottom right. Bomber on the run here.
Bomber in a lot of trouble, Robin. He's at 135 supply to Polt's 170 right now. Both these players equal on upgrades, so that tells you that the amount of a deficit Bomber's currently looking at on an army, as we just saw, is about 30 supply. Taking a look at workers, Bomber is a little bit ahead right now, though, but it's in 9 siege tanks to just 4 and 55 Marines.
Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on these Marines here. They're charging forward once again. 1 more siege tank fall. A 2nd falls as well. Look at the flank from the bottom left. He comes in. He's going to take the 3rd one out as well. He's going to focus it. Now pulling back. Polt, oh my gosh, I'm going to study these replays and steal these builds. He's so freaking good, dude.
Robin, Polt is trading Marines for tanks in almost all of these engagements. Bomber's down to just 3 siege tanks right now. He's going to go for a big drop once again. There's not many units here for Polt. The medevac is going to get sniped out with 3 Marines still in it. That's a big blow to Bomber, but Polt doesn't have much here to defend yet.
He's going to try and snap that reactor, and he certainly does. It will burn of art, and it looks like the Marines in the top right corner are going to be dealt with pretty handily, so Bomber does have some units here that can deal with him. But at the same time, we have Polt moving down in the bottom left corner. A planetary fortress has been built here, and it looks like the SC2s are going to start repairing, but that's a lot of siege tank damage. Has he dealt with the Marines in the main yet? Finally, he will, as a few do pop out, so looks like Polt will defend that, and does not get the medevac, but he's moving forward.
The siege tank's doing lots of damage to the Marines right now, and Polt may take out this expansion after cleaning up Bomber's army, and if he does, this is the only advantage Bomber currently has, down to just 100 supply.
And it goes back to him just trading Marines. He still has medevacs as well, as he's been sniping all of Bombers the whole entire game here. He has so much sustainability available to him. Just Moving forward as well down here outside of the Zeltnaga, he's got a few siege tanks as well. That fourth does go down. It looks like finally Bomber is forced to retreat from it, and he's trying to get a nice amount of units out. But look at the small patch of units he has in the middle of the map here. He's actually got pretty much half of what Polt has here. 180 supply to 121 very soon. Looks like he's going to move forward. These siege tanks are pretty low on HP though, so Polt does need to be careful.
Robin, what can Bomber do from here? Polt's at 180 supply. I mean, he keeps coming in with these. Look at this. He's going to snipe another. He snipes another siege tank with just 5 Marines. I can't believe that what's coming out of Polt right now.
Well, I did agree with what Bomber tried doing. He went for a Banshee. Oh, but hold that thought here. 2 more siege tanks are going to be sniped here from Bomber, though, and he takes them out and will pull back. But there are too many Marines here for Polt. He's going to chase him back to his ramp here, and Bomber GG's 1-1 is going to be the series. Polt, man, being so cost efficient in his engagement. Just look at him, man. He's like, it's whatever. Yeah. That's a normal day for me.
Actually, you know, he puffed out the cheeks, man. Polt just, oh man, that was such a fantastic game out of Polt. Bomber,
Stone face.
Yeah.
Every win or loss, he's just like that. He's ready for game number 3. You can tell.
What impresses me the most is that, you know, Polt held that position the entire game.
And he was still circumventing over to that 4th and 3rd. He was still poking here and there. And what I love the most is he would take a nice amount of Marines. He would split 6 off and always come around the side. So Bomber would always engage the main amount of Marines like on the right side, and then 6 Marines would always come in and snipe his siege tank. And that takes a lot of focus fire and a lot of attention from Bomber. And unfortunately, with him doing some drops on the side, he never actually really engaged it correctly. So let's see if he can do the same thing in game number 3. His Marine control was just fabulous. So that's all you can say about that game.
Yep. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. We'll be back, guys. This is IPL 5 Bomber versus Polt.